with the international
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
And as soon as you are ready, we invite you.
We are live now. So let's start, and when Irene will be ready, we will unmute her. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe you can switch on her camera too.
Now she's entering with another device, maybe. Let's see. Hello. Oh, we see you finally. Great. Okay. So, Sabine, go ahead.
Yes. Are we live? Yes?
Yes, we're live.
Yeah. Hello, I warmly welcome you to our 70th webinar by the Academy of Space Renaissance International. My name is Sabina Heinz, and I'm the person responsible for our webinar series. And on this 21st of October, Oh, here's a noise. I'm delighted that you have come to join us. Our today's special guest is Professor Irene Schacht, and she will talk about space design fashion for future parastronauts. Hello, Irene.
Hello.
Welcome. She has the technical problems, but I go on talking.
Hello.
Met her at IAC, and I'm really happy to see you again here. I also would like to welcome Bernard Foing. He's our president, Professor Bernard Foing. Hello, Bernard.
Share the monitor.
Nice to see you. So we are spending the whole time from Milano and then back in our own places. And it's nice to celebrate again, to listen to Irene. I have a little story about Irene, as indeed she visited us in the Space Renaissance booth in Milano, but also she gave an amazing talk at the lunar session. And we added in the middle of the talk a fourth quarter, which is a very sweet boy, Iago, that contributed, was on stage with her while she was carrying her and delivering her talk about lessons learned from for astronauts. And so she was very, very brave. She did very well. So it's great to see you with us, Irene, and your family.
Thank you.
And okay, I know Irene from many years, actually. She was one of the first participants in Your Moon Mars. Even before Your Moon Mars, we had some collaboration when she was defending her PhD, and I was on her PhD committee, but also she developed some work also of art and space, lunar garden with Ayako Ono, and as well she went on some of our field campaign in the Utah Mars Desert Research Station, and she even developed a special habitat, ExoHab, at ESTEC, where she prepared a module for astronaut training. So we have a long history with Irene Schlacht. So it's very nice to see.
Yes. Can you stop
So
sharing? I would like to introduce you first because the speakers are not seen for our audience so far. Yeah. Okay, thank you. We had a dinner together with your lovely daughter. So I didn't know that we will be in the webinar today. And I also would like to welcome Adriano Ottino. He is one of our vice presidents too, former president and founder, one of the founders of SRI. And welcome, Adriano.
Thank you very much, Sabine. Welcome to you. Welcome, Irene and Bernard, and the other guests that are in the Zoom meeting today. Okay. So.
Yes. So we have been all together in Milano at the IEC, and it was a wonderful event, and we had many activities. Yeah, and I would like to present first Irene to tell something about her. Professor Irene Schlacht is a researcher in habitability for space and other extreme environments. She approaches art as a tool of personal expression, capable of preventing conflicts and improving the quality of life in isolation. She has taken part as a crew member and principal experiment investigator in Moon and Mars missions, simulations, and ESA weightlessness missions during parabolic flight. She is a member of the IAASS Technical Committee for Human Factors and the Applied Human Factors and Ergonomics, and Scientific Commission for Space, the International Lunar Exploration Working Group, ILUWEC, at ESA, and awarded by European Low Gravity Association in 2007. She has been teaching at universities in Germany, the Netherlands, and Italy in artistic and scientific fields. Professor Irene Schlacht has been working as a freelance for ESA and DLR on human factors habitability for space applications. At the moment, she is a professor for space design at PoliArte Academy in Ancona. Irene, the floor is yours, and I have a question. What is a parastronaut?
It's on the presentation, you will see. Thank you so much for this great presentation, for all of you. And I would like to present Prof. Melchiorre Masali, that is not visible, but I hope he can hear us. He is 93 years old, and he have more than half a century of experience designing and working for space from anthropometric and anthropology perspective. He was one of the first past anthropologists. And yeah, it's very great he make it to be there, you see, but I'm not sure if he make it to talk. By the way, I would like to start with the presentation, if it's okay.
Yes, you may share your screen. The floor is yours.
Yes. So now I should go there and it should work, right? Share. And where I can make it.
Yes, and now full screen.
Yes, it should work. Okay. So.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is about a work that we've done with a student of PoliArte Ancona, and that was the theme. You can see the whole monitor. Okay, maybe I should do like that.
Yes, we're seeing the wall full
Okay,
size.
great.
Thank you.
Great. And it was with, of course, Professor Michele Magasai. You can see now the picture, Prof. Giordano Pierlorenzi and Bernard Spoin. That was the main ideator of this activity. And then we create a concept for the student. And then we present that. This is what we have done with this university between PoliArte di Ancona and Università di Torino. It's a long-lasting cooperation. We have been done also, we let astronaut flow. You see some anthropometric study from Professor Masali that really want to make astronaut flow. It was more an artistic concept, okay? And then we have okay. And then we have my MDRS mission that I was doing through Professor Bernard Foing. Also, at that time, we were already cooperating with these two. There is also some study related to ergonomics and anthropometric of people in no gravity. You see, for example, that it is me flying on the parabolic fly, and then Professor Masali studied the zero gravity neutral posture. And then he reproduced that with some 3D models, and then he make also some measure of actually all Italy. He is very famous because he has been able to measure the whole Italian population. So, and then we come with this concept that was presented to the International Astronautical Congress, and then we invite other co-authors, like, for example, Prof. Pierlorenzi, Prof. Nappo, Prof. Monina, and also students like Giulia Vicini and Jane Morelli, that was actually not a student, but there was actually an assistant former Professor Nappo, and then also the Margherita Micheletti Cremasco and Bernard, and we all make a big team, and we propose a concept for to the student to work. It was a group of students of fashion design course at PoliArte, and we present concept like the man is the measure of the things. Indeed, this is a main anthropological concept developed also from Masali, that everything is on a human scale, and then also it's the man that need to be adapted to the environment, or the environment to the man, and this is a very important question when we think to go to space and create this in artificial environment. And indeed, through this big team of cooperation, we create a multidisciplinary concept. And very important focus of this conference is the introduction also of possibility for medical metamorphoses that included, as from the recent ESA call, different body shapes. So we don't have only the concept of fashion for this Barbie that always you see on the modern fashion show, but really we want to bring fashion also of other kind of people and be integrative, as have been ESA. And we also consider people with a very short stature or limb differences. And also it was important to consider ethnicity, nationality, origin, the region, and all what can be the human on space need to represent, no? Then represent ourselves on Earth in all different cultural background and so on. So this was the concept presented to the student, and then we start to introduce the student to what is space fashion. We start actually with Amelia Earhart, that was actually one of the first female pilot that decide to create a new fashion for being more comfortable while she was flying. And she created her own fashion, and she dressed her own clothes. There was actually not only what they had before. We had before only clothes for men, and the girl need to be adapted of those clothes, but she really start a new era of design for aerospace, and then we then consider indeed the Parastronaut call from ESA, that you see. This is the slide from the European Space Agency that he posted online, where you can see what ESA was looking for, and ESA really opened the call for not what we have like a perfect military astronaut, but for people that really can contribute to the space space exploration without these shape boundaries, no? And then we have, as I said, our limb deficiency or pronounced like length differences and short stature. Why we do that? Because we need to represent all part of society, and also we want to integrate people not because of their aesthetic but because of their capability to support and help the space exploration. So that was what it's a very famous parastronaut John McPhail that is actually the first parastronaut in the world. And I'm very proud to be European and to be represented by the European Space Agency because they indeed made this choice. And you see, he has actually an artificial limb, and also actually I would like to mention that there is also other kind of astronaut at the moment with the space tourism. Indeed, the space exploration is open to every kind of people, and this is very nice. And also open for artistic expression. So this was the first main point, and then we present to the student, we went through also what is very important to know about space. The complexity of space. To design fashion for space is actually not an easy task. So I brought to the student through space. I flowed them through those lights and explained then all the space stressor and all the problem that they have people in space and the needs of our complex user. And then I show how they crowded are in extravehicular activity suits and which challenges they need to face through the space to the moon. So we have actually the far side of the moon there. It's actually unknown. They were really challenged from this unknown side of everything what is space that I explained. It's actually unknown how we live on the moon for a long duration mission, and it's unknown how we live to Mars. So we know that this little point is Earth, but we don't know actually so much about it. And how will be this space fashion on Mars and the moon? And they were really challenged about this unknown. And I focus really and stress them on human factor and how trying to understand how people interact in this kind of environment. And then I explained that it's so important to think about needs and how also it's important on the future to think also that it's not only space exploration a topic of engineering, but indeed design, fashion design, arts become more and more important if we look for long duration mission. So finally, the main takeaway message for the student was that the human spaceflight is different from what we experience on Earth. There are many stressors, radiation, different gravity, isolation, mission distance, and duration. And this is one of the most extreme environments in which we live. And human needs are dynamic and part unpredictable, particularly for future experience mission where space stressors are not completely known. What does this mean? That means that I asked the student to design for an environment that actually we don't know. So, and this is not predictable how we react there, and we don't know actually how the environment will impact on us. So that is actually very difficult task, but we can try to make something, but you need really to think about something flexible and multifunctional to deal with such a complex and unknown scenario. So they took the challenge and they come out with a project that they call Exodus, Humanity Interstellar Odyssey. They were actually very fascinated about it. And Professor Giordano Pierlorenzi with Mauro Nappo and Emanuele J. Morelli as Generative Artificial Intelligence Art Director, and Mauro Nappo as the coordinator of the fashion design course, and Giordano Pierlorenzi as the director of the academy. They invite they had this team of students that they invited, and they come out with a project that was based on a pilgrimage. So they talk really how people from Earth in the future, they will move to the moon and to Mars, like a kind of pilgrimage concept. They make really a parallelism for what we have actually now on Earth. So just think about the first pilgrimage from Europe to the American country, or what we have now after the wars. And then they try to think, how is the feeling of moving and going other territory where you are not also safe for it, and how you can adapt it. And they really like to apply the concept of use science fiction to get inspired. And then they start to design the first concept. And you see, they just have the first concept of design that are still very earthly-like, but they have start to go in the space direction. So you have now the first image that they create, and then they really reflect also about the concept that we explain. The man is the mirror of all the things that we explain on the first slide of the concept, and also how they can live on Moon and Mars. So moreover, through the team made from all the experts from also Università di Torino and the anthropometric laboratory of Margherita Micheletti Cremasco, they also had a really deep talk about semantic consideration and anthropometric aspect. It was very important for them also to think about what is the semantic of people living in such a far future. They really think about mission to Mars in a far future, and they thought that the people need of course, to express their own self, but this own self in the future for them was not being like female or male or being rich or poor. What really was like an idea of a completely different human being that is out of the gender, out of behind binary gender, and express itself as a unique person. So astronaut clothing, there was not to have a mass-produced astronaut clothing, but really astronaut clothing that respect specific need, individual needs, and they need to be built tailor-made. And now I would like to present the concept as one of the students describe it. So they create in particular 3 images, and she described the 3 images that we will show you later. The 3 images were created with the support of all my classmates and teacher after having discussed what our vision was regarding life on space. Our view and opinions were particularly influenced by the science fiction world, a dystopian landscape in which we imagine mankind as a whole new concept and perspective of life itself. In fact, the core of the project is to represent every kind of aspect of human life, from disability to the non-binary human. We wanted to reflect our design to the view we have on life in space as a limitless, unconventional, and challenging lifestyle. We decided to work with generative artificial intelligence. It's the core of the technological development that we have recently adopted. And for this kind of project, we thought it was best. As it was said before, we chose to represent a sort of imaginary pilgrimage, aesthetically speaking, in order to represent the idea of leaving our reality for another one. With little to no knowledge, but only our willingness to find another reality. As far for the design itself, we talk about creating something edgy and cool, like nothing has been designed before. Our style was what fashion will be like in the future. The main colors selected were silver, gold, yellow, black, and white. They produced a strong contrast. The inflatable layer was applied to the habit and also to be dressed. So that was the first concept that the student came with. And then they were also thinking to implement the concept of integration, creating a kind of cyber people. And that was the main result. As Julia described, this is actually created completely with artificial intelligence, and the whole presentation that they made was also created with the generative artificial intelligence. That means that also the text was made through keyword, and they thought that it was the best instrument to think about the future and to make a design for the far future. So as they think that that is the tool of the future. So as you see, we have part that is completely cyborg part. So this is a kind of leg that it can actually work in an extreme environment without extravehicular activity. So it means that the student talk that people that are on Earth may be considered as desirable, that can be on space considered more able people, because they can with their cyber park interact with the environment without extravehicular activity suits, but directly interact with the stream environment. You see the Greek column on the background. It's everything okay? And it's a very nice concept from the student, because they talk about a parallelism between the ancient human history and the future, and they saw quasi that our will be in the future, and they talk that we will need to take our cultural heritage also on Mars, and constructing also Doric columns there. And you see this is very strong, the concept of inflatable, that is actually here. It's not only to provide oxygen to the astronaut, but it's really, really also focused or create something that is what they talk, it will be aesthetic, our main aesthetic purpose. Then also they talk how will be the life there, and they also create something that actually will be more I think more applicable on what will be the reply of this input of a space fashion on Earth. And they create also an idea of inflatable habitat, and what can be the same, because if you create space fashion for Mars and the Moon, they thought that they will have also an influence on Earth, and then they come also with some gadget and equipment that can be used on Earth. Okay, and that's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Irina. It was really interesting. And can you stop sharing the screen? And I would like also to welcome people from all over the world. Just a second. Ik ben een webinar, ja. Ik roep dich zurück, ja. Tschüss. Yeah, and I find it interesting that you look for, yeah, for the size of people, that people are in different sizes, and so that's very important because not all astronauts are of the same size. And what you're thinking about, yeah, Bernard.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a very nice narrative. I like the idea of a pilgrimage because it's also opportunity not only to discover but also to look for oneself and humanity. So what is the status now of this project? Are you going to build some models, and can we use them in our next analog campaigns?
Well, we can propose because some of the students are like making their thesis, and maybe we can propose that. First of all, we were looking to have some feedback from the International Astronautical Conference in Milan. And then I present this poster there last Friday, actually.
Yeah.
And it was very nice. And then we will see, we had actually also very good feedback. And then we could propose then to make some mock-up.
Yeah. Are you also working on a inflatable habitat? I saw some very beautiful design.
No,
are they also interested in doing habitats?
well, they were just trying because they were trying to create a scenario where they could think about these clothes, but that was not the main task. They just they were making some experiment, and they come out also with the gadget and inflatable habitats, but it was not the main task. They just had fun, and they were keeping trying and making.
Okay, so to have the good content. And about the suit, did they think also of some smart technologies they can integrate in the suits, like enhancing, sensing the physiology or the health, or also some sensors that they could use also for astronauts doing some work?
Per molti studiosi, quando i coloni greci
Can you, Adriano, can you mute this iPhone there?
Yeah.
Maybe Melchiorre want to say something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Professor Masali, if you want to intervene, we would be happy as well. But my question is about smart sensors that can be added to the suits.
Yes,
this
for sure.
I
Yeah.
had to.
I think it's a good idea to add a smart sensor to the suit. Yeah, the concepts were actually very basic because the workshop was actually a very intensive and short workshop. I think it lasts then in totally a few weeks, and I think it was already a very great job from the students.
Yeah, so if there would be one or two models that they would build, we could call it Space for All, because it really goes very much into your goal, and this could be some of our artifacts we use for space renaissance events, for instance. We need some new generation spacesuit for space renaissance. Thank you very much.
Actually, Prof. Nappo told me that he will be also online, and he was the coordination of the space, the fashion design course. So I hope he's actually listening us and maybe take this chance to propose this to the students.
Well, we all want one.
I have a question. These clothes are made only for fashion. Bernard was asking similar question, but is there also a cooperation with some agencies like NASA or European Space Agency, also ESA, to use this clothes you designed, or is it only a design? And
no, actually no. We just come out with this idea and without the cooperation of the agency, just because we want to give a try. And then we present that to actually a NASA employee from NASA and an Ukrainian model, and they give us the comment. Also, I recorded and I sent to the director the comments, and they really like it. Now we were just to really at the start, and we don't want to make it so very complex and big. We just make a little step with the student. There was actually already enough complex, and now that we have a very good feedback, we are ready then to maybe involve NASA, ESA, JAXA, Roscosmos, and whatever like. But it was just a little step on this direction now, and we didn't invite too many people. However, Bernard was on the team, and already was a great contribution.
Interesting. And why do you think it is necessary to have some fashion and spacesuits?
Well, it is not necessary. It's obligatory. I think it's a must. We need everything in space, and in particular for long-range mission, we will need a philosopher. We will need everything. We will need a history expert. We will need also space fashion. And of course, I'm not talking about these 2 weeks, but in a long-range mission, you for sure you want to express yourself also with your interface, with your aesthetic interface, and it's a must. It's not.
Yes, I agree 100%. And I was very much impressed by the beauty of your images and of the design.
Can you put your audio a little bit louder? I cannot hear you, Adriano.
So you cannot hear me? Cannot hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was very much impressed by the beauty of the design, and by the philosophic concept that man is the measure of all things. I think this is very important, and this very resonates with our humanist, our space humanism. That is the core of the space Renaissance philosophy. And I think that, yes, of course, we need fashion in space. We need everything in space, everything what we make on Earth, and probably we will invent new things that we are not making on Earth, because when we will be in space, thinking in a three-dimensional environment, many new concepts will arise, and artists will be very much stimulated to make some kind of new arts in space. And I think that your work is really aiming to that. So my compliments, definitely. And yeah. I can't say anything more. I think beauty is very much necessary, because if we have to make one thing and we can making good, we can make it beauty, or we can make it bad. Why not to make it beauty? Why not to make it beautiful? Very much better, and the beauty and the beautiness talks to our art. It
Yes.
moves us to positive feelings and love for humanity and all of these kind of things. So
Yeah,
Okay.
it's connected to the quality of life, of course. By the way, this is not my work, but it's the work of all the team. And just here presenting the work this is very important because the most of the work has been done by the student of the PoliArte fashion design course of 2023-2024, and this is very important to remember. So one thing I would like really to try to call Professor Masali because he's there, and he need to maybe can make a comment on your comment because the
that would be
man
nice.
of the muser of the thing is his concept. Let's see if he reply, and I try to ask him to to say something to
Excellent.
the.
Yes, Professor Masali was an
Let's-
inspiration for many of us.
Yeah.
And I think to see
Ciao
the
Melchiorre, noi vorremmo tanto sentirti parlare. Puoi parlare, noi ti vediamo, puoi parlare con l'iPhone, puoi parlare? No.
No, put it.
Maybe you can through to my okay. Senti okay. He sorry, he's there. He can see us, but he cannot talk. And he say thank you so much. He appreciate that you like the concept, and he is very happy that the work has been well developed. Yeah.
Yes, thank you
He
so
is
much.
93 and he is still working a lot, but with technology sometimes a bit difficult
also,
for him.
For the audience, you will know that there was a paper presented at IAC that was a tribute to Professor Melchiorre Masali. That was prepared by Irene herself. So yes, it inspired us for decades, and it's nice to see now also in all disciplines, even in the fashion side, to see the young generation starting some work. I think from the point of view of space renaissance, we really enjoy your presentation. Also, the beauty of your work on the habitability, but also the work of the student from PoliArte. If there would be a follow-up event, we would be happy with Space Renaissance to participate. We could give also some inspiration from the space side, space technology, space humanities. That could be eventually a nice pilot project we could develop with PoliArte for the next year.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. For the next year, actually, PoliArte has other project that we cooperate with the analog environment e-learning training campaign from Agata Koloniewski, and we will work on this project that she is making with other European university.
Excellent. We are strong collaborators of the Analog Astronaut Training Center. Agata, we had a number of our Space Renaissance members that spent 1 week on the moon with her. The last one was a mission colony with 30 analog astronauts that were there. And so, but also eventually, for some of the individual students that want to go to next step of individual project, we could also in collaboration with our vice president for the art chapter, Sabine, look at some art and fashion project that could be done also by some individuals. And Adriano had some comments here.
I was thinking something that could be interesting. Irene, I don't know if in Milano you have maybe had a conversation with Ganim Alotaibi, could be in our booth. Maybe not.
No, I'm not sure. It was so many people that I met.
I tell you why I'm mentioning him. Ganim Alotaibi is from Kuwait. Is a very active member of SRI, and he is the manager of a project called Ethos, Expanding Humanity into Outer Space. That this project had the final event 3 weeks ago. We had 3 teams competing on a challenge that we gave to them. to come out with the concept of a rotating habitat in a Lagrange point, 400 inhabitants. We wrote a statement of work. There were 3 teams that presented their works, and of course we have declared one of the 3 teams the winner. But this was a project toward the young generation, because Ganimi is also the chair of the Toward a Young Generation, Target Young Generation Committee of our academy. And so this project was a success, and it will continue next year. And a possible idea would be to try to make a collaboration and to make a context about fashion, about space fashion, challenging some students or young researchers or whatever to propose their design for not only for clothes but also for internal habitats design. I don't know if you like
Yes.
this idea.
Yes, for sure. However, I would like to keep the point of the E and explain my vision of space exploration. I see not space exploration as expanding the human through the space, but I see space exploration as a very focused platform where people can learn more about where we come from and where we're going. I mean, for myself, I see Mars as a kind of what will be Earth maybe a million of years, and then we can have a kind of teletransport and then really experience the future of the planets and trying to understand everything, how does it work. But for me, the best space station, and I've been working on this field 25 years, and really I come out with this conclusion that the best space station for human being is Earth. There is nothing better than that. This is really, it's amazing, and this is really made for us, and it's already traveled through all the space. So what we can do, of course, we can leave our space station and then have some test of what is around it. But this is our space station, and there is no possibility to have other travel without the main space station. So first of all, be aware about this. This is my vision.
Okay. Good. So
you are muted. You are muted, Bernard.
Okay, well, so really, thanks for the presentation, and good food for thought, beautiful visual and narrative. So let's see also if there's some follow-up project we can do with Professor Irene Schlacht.
Yes, I think so. Let's get in touch, Irene, or stay in touch. And yeah, maybe we can do something together. As I told you, we plan next year a festival in Berlin, so maybe we can do something together.
Berlin is my second house.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, I thank you so much for this nice presentation and for this.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, we are always happy to have artists and scientists and designers here, so to have a full range, because I like to build a bridge between art and science, and you are doing so and combining the compatibility from a spacesuit with what is necessary, and I was looking for the word, and yeah, I like this very much, and this is a good bridge or combination between art and science.
Yeah, functionality and beauty and spacey. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
To fit the requirements, I wanted to say something like this. Yeah, genau. Yeah, thank you so much
Bitte.
to our audience and to Irene, Bernard, Adriano. And I hope to see you at the beginning of November. And our next webinar will be on the 4th of November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope to see you.
All the best.
Bye. Ad
See you.
astra.
Bye.
Ci vediamo sulla luna.
Ciao,
Okay.
ciao.
Sorry, I have terminated.